Hello, team. Welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video of myself, Jonathan MSP. This is Ukraine War Frontline update for the 9th of February 2024. I have some pretty dodgy internet at the moment, so I can't open Twitter at all. It doesn't seem to like it, even with a VPN. And I am struggling with this map in a way that it renders. I can move around it quite smoothly, but as I zoom in, it's not always rendering very well, as you can see there. So I really, really apologize. It is going to be what it is. I am in the middle of um, Ukraine at the moment. I was in Kharkiv this morning. It was snowing, lots of snow about today. Where I am, it's snowing. And I have some stories to tell, stuff to share with you. It will all come out eventually, even if I struggle as I'm experiencing these things to share them live or, in a good timed fashion with you. I do apologise for that. So I might just have time to do and the ability to do the frontline update tonight without indeed the ability to zoom in too much. So as you can see, and I can't really access other sources for these, so it's going to be one of my poorer frontline updates. Nonetheless, the Ukrainians have made some gains in the Bakhmut area to the south by Kurdi and Mivka. Luckily, my knowledge of the Ukrainian map is pretty good, so I know where all of these things are, even if they aren't rendering properly. So just to the west of the canal as it comes up here, the Ukrainians have made, as according to Surat Maps, some gains there, thanks to JR who's done the mapping. So again, apologies for not being able to share with you the details of these gains. When we come down to Avdiivka, we have in the northern area, just by the coke plant, between the coke plant and the quarry lake here and Vasily over there, we have some gains for the Russians, as according to all the mappers, pretty much inside the Avdiivka main area. Some of the stories I was hearing today was that the Russians that came up under the sort of water pipes around Sarska Ochota could well have popped up in a number of places in Avdiivka. It wasn't just contained to there. That's one of the rumors I've heard today, and that there were possibly more of those troops that popped up than were initially reported, fairly heavily armed, obviously not with mechanized equipment through water pipes, but that could have been more of a problem for the Ukrainians, as was initially reported, but not 100% sure about that. And as we come down to Mariinka, we see some gains, according to Deep State Map, for the Russians, both just sort of north of Mariinka or northwest of Mariinka and southwest as well. On the way down to Novomykhailivka, where you can see some gains for the Russians, both south of Novomykhailivka and east. There are some reports that there have been some pushback. There's been some pushback for the Ukrainians there, and indeed, Deep State Map has a little bit of a rejig, and Surat Maps in one area there in favour of the Ukrainians, but it's tough for them there. The Russians are pushing, and there's fierce fighting over the eastern outskirts of. That town of Novomykhailivka. Then I don't know whether this is rejigged or this is JR. Around the Mikilska area, just south east of Vuhledar, we have some possible Ukrainian gains or a rejig, and that's really the whole of it with regard to the front line. It is one of the poorest frontline updates I've done for you, due to just my inability to access the internet as well as I would like. Obviously, that's the nature of being on the road in Ukraine. It is challenging. I'm very lucky with Greg in that when I'm traveling in the car, we actually have pretty much consistent, excellent internet access in the car. But obviously, it's very hard to record videos in the car, and if all the time I'm recording videos, I'm not looking at where we are, especially in the daylight time. So I will share with you eventually all of the experiences I am having. I've written an article that is being looked at by my editor at the moment that has some of the experiences that I have gone through and some of the conversations I've had with soldiers. And I've turned that into an article looking at crowdfunding equipment for armed forces of Ukraine, and how we're in this odd situation now where we're crowdfunding an army in kind of unison with the governments and international governments as well. So interesting situation, but I'll flag that article up to you when it comes out. But anyway, a mixed bag of nuts for the Ukrainians with regard to the front line and advances on the front line. I have a dog called Tisha with me at the moment. It's just nuzzling into my back, so that's nice. I'm with Pierre at the moment. Pierre has been a legend of an accompaniment here. He's taking a lot of footage, photographs, and whatnot, and I hope to show some of them to you. Indeed, here is Pierre. That is a picture of him to prove that we are indeed together. He has been awesome in accompanying me. We were today looking at some ruins just outside one of the places we've been in, and here are some of the images. As you can see, some pretty startling stuff. There's a story I'll be releasing later, a video concerning that. Um, and that's a pretty startling story that Greg was telling me about that place. So that's a place where 55 people perished. I think 52 people perished and 3 survived. Absolutely heartrending story. But anyway, that's what I've been up to today, or part of what I've been up to today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll try and upload some stuff a little bit later for you. Take care. Speak soon.